Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks so much for coming back to Remy Be Real. I'm Remy. Hope you're doing fantastic whenever and wherever you're tuning in. Today, I want to share with you the 5 key takeaways I've gotten from this swimming journey thus far. I decided I would learn to swim back in May, and 2 things drove me to that. I did suffer a post-tib injury. My foot was in a boot for 6 weeks. I couldn't run, I couldn't ride, I couldn't lift. That didn't leave a whole lot of options or things that I can do without pressure on the foot. But bigger than that, my big sister suffered a stroke. Watching her recover and all the things that she was learning how to do again, the least I can do is show my support and solidarity for what she's going through by putting myself in a difficult spot. You can hear more about that story and that journey up over here. I'll link it at the end as well. But here we are. I'm showing up to the pool for the first time and I have no idea what I'm doing. Now, before I get into these 5 things, I want to make it crystal clear I am by no means an expert. I've been swimming for 7 months. These are things that have worked for me, and hopefully if you are hoping to get into swimming, you're curious about transitioning to triathlon but feeling a little uncomfortable, these are some things that were told to me that I would wish to share with you. If you are a comfortable or dare I say elite swimmer, please give me some pointers down in the comments. Let me know what you've done, what your swim journey is, or anything else that was challenging that you learned how to do, and we can talk about some of these things together. All right, let's get into it. Number 1 was research. Oh my, so much research. There was a lot that I didn't know, so I made sure to figure out what I was even doing. How long is the pool? What do all these markers mean? I had no idea that the flags that I saw on the hanging above the pool, those are functional. If you're backstroking, once you see the flag, it's almost time to turn around, so get ready to do your flip or your turn. Either way, the end of the pool is coming up. Along with that came finding some resources online. I spoke to my coach a ton. Now I understand not everyone will be able to get a coach, and with the current situation, we haven't been able to meet face to face a whole lot, so having someone in the pool with me is not something that I had the advantage of, but it can still be done. I looked up a ton of videos between My Swim Pro and Swim Skills and Talents. These are huge swim focused channels, but there was another guy, Justin, who did a very beginner focused session. I'll link all those in the description down here too if you're interested in checking those out. But all the research definitely paid off. At the same time, having so much information when you're brand new was a little overwhelming. So step 2 was repetition, and I broke things down too. I took little chunks of some of this stuff, especially really entry level stuff, and repeat it over and over and over until you get comfortable. So things like blowing bubbles and laying at the side of the pool and just kicking my feet up just to feel what that was like. Repeat that over and over. The big thing there too was getting into the pool over and over and over. Early on, I was swimming 4 times a week. I would get in there and just make sure that I was getting more comfortable with just being in the water. Comfortable being horizontal in the water. Comfortable having my face submerged and not hearing, not seeing. Because, you're giving up a couple of senses there. You can't hear too well. Plus, you're submerged. You got your goggles on, but you're looking down. You're not really seeing a whole lot of what's going on. You're definitely not smelling anything. You want to shut your nose off. But just getting in there, getting my body tuned to what happens when I get in the water, so I stop thinking about it, and some of these things can become, automated, and I can just go on cruise control. Other things, sink downs, right? I had no real concept of how deep the pool is, but what does that feel like touching the bottom of the pool and then coming back up? I gotta be honest, the first time I did it, scared to death. I called the lifeguard over and made sure she was ready to fish me out in case, I couldn't come back up. And wouldn't you know, it took me longer to sink down than it did to rocket right back up to the top. And just knowing that did a whole lot for my comfort. Then the repetition of staying streamlined moving forward. And there's so much in there. The point being, take little bits at a time and keep repeating it. Repeat it over and over and over until it becomes basically second nature and your body can go into that autopilot mode where you're just doing it and not thinking. So that's number 2, repetition. Number 3 for me is rhythm. I went in there just flailing, and you've seen the videos. There was no rhyme, reason, or rhythm to it at all. I was just going in and trying to, I don't know what I was trying to do. I was like a windmill. But then I realized, just like every bit of movement, there is some rhythm to it. If you're doing a power clean in the gym, you're doing a squat, there's a rhythm to that movement. You don't want to just like jerky move it. You're going to hurt yourself. When you're running, there's a rhythm. You're not sporadically, you're going to hurt yourself. While if you're not in rhythm in the water, you're going to lose propulsion. You're going to slow down, and that's where you start to sink. And that's when you start to, at least for me, find the rhythm that works for you. Definitely with the rotation, with your kick, with your pull, and your early vertical forearm. Like, these are all terms that you're going to come across along your swimming journey, but definitely finding that rhythm. Put a lot of those things, talking about that autopilot and getting into that repetition. The more I repeated, the sooner I can find my rhythm. The more I got one thing into rhythm, the more I could repeat the next thing and then put that rhythm together, and I could isolate my torso and then work on my legs, then work on my core, then work on my head, and put all those pieces together. Number 4 is gonna be a little tougher depending on your situation, your circumstance, but that is to review. Now, you can think that, oh yeah, I'm submerged. Oh yeah, I'm totally streamlined. Oh yeah, I'm smooth. Until you see yourself or have somebody watch you actually swim who can critique and let you know exactly what you're doing. This is not a plug, not sponsored, but I got the Insta360 Go 2 because this little thing is waterproof. I can take it into the pool, I can take it with me into the lake. That's how I capture like 90% of the videos and things you see of me at the pool. Other times, I will just set up my phone at the end of the lane and prop the pool boy behind it so it sits there. It's also a waterproof phone. Please do not try this with your phone that is not waterproof and say, Remy destroyed my phone. But if those are not options for you, talk to the lifeguard. If the pool is not crazy busy, and I would suggest that too, try to find odd times where you're not competing with other folks who are trying to get the lanes, but do what you gotta do. Talk to the lifeguard. They're generally super happy to help because, if they don't have to go in there and fish you out, I think they'll be happy about that too. So making that connection right away and, hey, I'm here, checking in, keep an eye out on me, I'm a nervous swimmer, and boom, they'll already know. Build that rapport, and now you can have a conversation with that person. Hey, how did I look over there, here and there? I take my videos and I send them to my coach. Sometimes you can even talk to another swimmer and they'll see, because again, the more that you keep showing up in that repetition, you're going to inevitably meet people at the pool, right? And that can start to tie all those things together as you are working on that upper body, working on your rotation, working on the core strength and contraction to keep that stable, working on your kick and getting that in line. All those little things come together. Okay, now for number 5. And again, this one was really tough too. You're gonna hear this a ton. Relax. Now, I was fighting the water like you couldn't believe. That's all I was doing. I couldn't relax. But in time, in getting comfortable, by doing the repetition and finding the rhythm, once you get into that smooth rhythm and you're no longer in that fight or flight instinct, Then you can start to relax. Then you can start to breathe, and you're piecing things together. And the more relaxed you are, the smoother you are. The smoother you are, the faster you go. It blows me away, because in every other thing, just oomph it a little bit more, right? If I want to ride faster, I pedal harder, I up my cadence. If I want to run faster, work a little harder, start pumping, and that's how I go faster. Well, with swimming, whoa, slow it down, man. That smooth, silky, that all comes from relaxing, being confident, and all that is a product of, to recap, doing the research, the repetition, finding your rhythm, reviewing everything that you've done and what you've learned, and then you can actually relax and enjoy that swim. But you tell me, what did I miss? What have you been doing? Those of you who have been swimming since little kids, please do chime in the comments. Let me know. I'm sure I'm missing a whole lot. Hey, I still can't backstroke. But that's it for now. Don't forget to check out those links down below. Till next time, y'all, it's been real.